Hey everybody, this is Brandon with RPG Overviews. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at Escape the Zone. This is a solo role-playing game, and it's very much in the genre of Stalker, if you've ever played that game, or Metro, and the like. I will also be attempting a playthrough, so if you'd like to see me possibly embarrass myself, stay tuned towards the end as I transition over and try to play this game. This will be the first time I ever really sit down and play a solo role-playing game. I've messed with Fighting Fantasy books and Lone Wolf books, but never something like this. So here we go. This is available, of course, in PDF on Drive to RPG. I'll have a link down in the description. I'll also put a link to the website, should they be available. I'm not sure as of right now if they're available to purchase in this physical format here, but I'll link that down as well. So yeah, it's not a whole bunch of pages, but it's got a good bit of meat. Of course, I really enjoy Stalker, the series. I enjoy Metro. I enjoy kind of post-apocalyptic stuff or strange areas. This also says something I've not read, a book called Roadside Picnic. It's definitely in that same genre. So what happened in this game? Okay, if you're kind of new to the Stalker situation, it says the visitation, the zones, and artifacts. 20 years ago, an alien life form landed on Earth. We call this event the visitation. Nobody saw the visitors arrive or leave. The only traces of their passage are 6 different locations around the Earth called visitation zones. Now, right there, stop. That's neat. I like that idea. I believe that's from this Roadside Picnic, but I'm not sure. I just like the fact that aliens come down and they don't make a big to-do about it, but they leave the place changed. I think that's a neat concept. Many residents of nearby areas became blind and deaf. That's not good, though, as a result of noises louder than anything conceivable. Others were stricken by a strange plague that transformed them into shells of their former selves. That's going to hopefully give us the monsters. Soon, deadly phenomena started to manifest inside the visitation zones where the laws of physics no longer applied. These phenomena are known as anomalies. Mysterious objects infused with otherworldly properties started to appear inside the zones. Their purpose remains mostly incomprehensible to humans. Some grant their owners powers bordering on the supernatural. Some are so deadly that even touching them or being in their presence could shatter a person's mind or disintegrate their body. That's not great. These objects of immeasurable value are called artifacts. So, yeah. And what's going to happen is you're going to go in. It says here, scientists, military forces, religious cults, and private collectors from all over the world are desperate to get their hands on artifacts. Officials of the visited countries fear that some artifacts may contain enough power to unleash terrible calamities or even destroy the world. Security perimeters were erected around the zones. Armed soldiers guard them to prevent unauthorized visitors from entering. Those guards are allowed to arrest or kill any trespassers. Specialized mercenaries are the only ones willing to risk their lives to illegally recover artifacts from the zone in exchange for a huge profit. These mercenaries are called stalkers. You are one of them. So obviously that's exactly what you're playing. And it says right here, as a stalker, you live inside danger, between space-time paradoxes, high radiation, mutated monstrosities roaming around, and rival stalkers. Death lurks at every corner. But today, on top of the usual threats you face every time you set foot inside the exclusion zone, you are struck by an unknown kind of fear. You are lost, and you don't know who you are anymore. The only thing you remember is that you're a stalker, out on a job. The inscrutable forces ruling over the zone have swallowed everything else, and will you be able to retrieve your fragmented memories disseminated throughout the zone and piece them together? So you're trying to find clues in this, okay? And even if you do, will you make it out of the exclusion zone alive? And that's pretty much the start of the game. And I like how it breaks it down here, what you need to play the game. 3 6-sided dice. Look, I've got those for when I play it. That's easy enough. A pen, eraser, copy of the rules, a character sheet. I've got that right there. So character creation takes less than 5 minutes. That's good. It only uses D6s. No fiddly math. Only 3 skills to keep track of. Muscles, nerves, and brains. Combat resolution is lightning fast. Your attack and defense are resolved simultaneously in a single dice roll. That helps. Weapons do a fixed amount of damage. That's less die rolling. No alignment, no initiative, no magic spells, no feats or moves, no multi-classing, none of that stuff. So that works. How do you go? How do you play it? So to play a game of Escape the Zone, you must travel through every part of the exclusion zone. Each time you enter a location, I'm going to roll on the corresponding events table. You must resolve at least one event per location. That's cool, but you may have multiple encounters if you wish. Really pushing your luck there, I would think, but who knows? To gather more loot, clues, or get better equipment before the final showdown. Reroll previously resolved encounters, except enemies that you fled from, so you can flee from enemies. That's neat. You can seize weapons from enemies you kill. Each firearm has 1d6 ammo. And every anomaly you survive grants you some swag What stalkers call swag are the commonly found low-level artifacts that sell easily on the black market. Each point of swag is worth 1d6 times $1,000. But here's where you find out a little bit more about yourself. Some encounters will reward you with clues. Those clues are crucial to help you figure out who you are and what caused your amnesia. You need to collect 6 clues in order to successfully retrieve your memories before the final encounter. Another way to gather clues is to kill enemies. For every enemy you defeat, roll 1d6. On a 5 to 6 roll, you gain a clue. Fleeing from enemies doesn't allow you to make that roll. And then it says for easier, 5 clues, more difficult, 8 clues or more. So how do we do anything? Well, it's pretty easy. You're going to roll 2d6. You add the skill modifier. And if it's between 2 and 7, it's a failure. If you get an 8 plus, it's a success. And a 12 plus is a total success. So that's good. And of course, it says the effects of failure and successes and total successes will be detailed in the adventure's text. There are 4 types of consumable points in this game. Vitality points, in essence, hit points. Okay, they represent your health, stamina, and your will to live. The next is luck points. Now, these represent occasions where you feel like your character needs a little push from destiny to help them triumph over adversity. Spend these wisely as they could give you a second win when all hope seems lost, and they are quite difficult to get. Third is armor points. These represent layers of protection that can reduce damage inflicted to your character. So what they are is, for 1 point is 1d6 that you're going to not take that much damage from a source. So that's good. But that point's going to be, in essence, gone. And once your armor has no more points, you can just throw it away. It's useless. The next is ammo. Pretty self-explanatory. It says here, you're going to run out of them, of course, whenever you use ranged weapons. So here's the vitality points. You start with 20 points. Pretty easy. And it says you'll lose vitality points when you're 0. Your character dies. So try again. There's a way to regain vitality, consuming food or using healing items. But you cannot rest in the zone. Everything is unpredictable and deadly, so you're not going to be able to sleep it off. And then the luck points for each. You can trade in any dice roll. You can trade the points, the consumable points of luck, for any dice roll to add an extra d6 to your total. So 1 luck point equals a 1d6. Once you spend a luck point, you deduce it from the character sheet. And there are some ways to gain more luck points in the game. Then you have armor points, which I've already described right there. And sometimes they're not going to help you against stuff like weather or environmental or anomaly-based damage. And you have to spend them before you make your dice roll. So there's ammo. Here's rules for leveling up. Probably won't get through with that, but there is some little bit of stuff right there. You get +1 to a skill, plus 1d6 hit points, and +1 luck. And your luck pool is filled back up. So that's cool. And then you've got combat and close combat checks. Now this is really easy. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll 2d6 and add your muscles modifier for like close combat. So I've got a 5. Let's say I've got a 2. I got a 7. So that's a failure. Your skill points can only go up to a +3 maximum. So if I roll a 7, I get a 7 failure, it means you inflict no damage, and the enemy inflicts its full damage to you. Subtract the damage taken from your vitality points. Okay. So if the result is 8+, so you need that little boost to get you over that hump, obviously. You inflict the full damage to the enemy, but you also suffer half of the enemy's damage rounded up to a minimum of 1. Okay. Compromise, I get that. 12+, total success, means you inflict full damage to the enemy and take none. Way to go, killer. The amount of damage inflicted in close combat is calculated like this. Weapon damage plus muscle modifier. That's how you figure out how much damage you do in close combat. And if you're fighting with your bare hands, it's 1 plus your muscle. Ranged weapons are pretty much exactly the same. The only thing is you can really only use them in the very first shot. And of course, if you fail, you're not going to take damage because you're using a ranged weapon. And then it means pretty much that the monster closes in on you to attack you. So I understand what they're doing there. Some people will probably be like, oh, I want to use my weapon a whole bunch. You could probably just play that as you want on yourself. If you are attacked by multiple creatures, though, you can only use ranged weapon. Like you can use multiple shots then as you're getting attacked by multiple creatures. Then you roll a fleeing check. It's pretty much the same. It's your 2d6 plus your nerves. If you can't flee, it says you take full damage and can't flee. It's really bad. And if you get an 8+, you manage to escape but suffer half enemy's damage. It's kind of the same thing. So very easy. We've got advantage and disadvantage with 3 dice, taking the 2 results, or disadvantage, taking the lower 2. And it says, in the rare case that both advantage and disadvantage would apply, they cancel each other out, which I like. And then some stuff about replayability here. So collect an artifact as your reward. If you were able to finish it, roll on the rare artifacts table. It's in the back. You can sell your swag, create a new objective, imagine your own final encounter, and play again. You can also buy some items too. So what's the goal here? The end goal. Every stalker's ambition is to accumulate enough wealth to enjoy a well-deserved retirement. In essence, you're trying to go for maybe $20,000 or more, and you can finally retire. So here's how you do it. You've got those 3 skills: muscles, nerves, and brains. You're going to distribute 2 skill points amongst those 3 available skills, thus either giving both points into 1 skill, or 1 point to 2 skills. So that each one of those points equals a +1 skill modifier. And I explain to you what they do. Obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory. Your nerves is going to be for stuff like reflexes and athletics. Muscles is going to be for strength, weapons, hand-to-hand combat. And then your brain's going to be mental fortitude, intelligence, discipline, charisma. 20 points, we talked about that. You got your luck points. Each character starts with 1d3 luck points. No, that's not bad. You roll d6 and divide it by 2. We know how to do that. And then your starting items. You can roll 2d6 twice, or you can choose 2 items for an easier game. I'm going to roll it whenever I make it. And then you've got 3 specializations: the soldier, soldier, tracker, scientist, and mystic. And I like the way these are done. So the soldier is obviously really good. He starts out with +1 muscles. And you start with a rifle and a knife. So that's going to give you a ranged weapon and a close combat weapon. And that's going to be really helpful, because if you shoot at something and then it still comes at you, you're going to be punching at it, okay? So I'd really like to have that knife that does 2 damage instead of 1 plus muscles. And you get some MREs. The tracker's a little bit different. You get a machete, a bear trap, which is cool, and some lock picks. The scientist gets +1 brains, a pistol, a fistful of bolts, which is straight out of Stalker, which I love that. It says fistful of bolts, but it's single use, so you're going to use them all. Automatically succeed at an anomaly encounter. That's very good. Night vision goggles cancels the effects of darkness. And then the mystic is a neat character. You get +2 luck points during character creation. And obviously I should say too, this is also inspired by the movie Stalker as well. You start with a sling, a lucky trinket, and grants you a 1 reroll per location on any failed dice roll. That's really strong. And a healing salve, which is only single use but heals 4 vitality points. And there you go. So I'll start that off whenever we play. So to show you how it's laid out, we've got our first location. You've got an event result key here. It lets you know what type encounter this is going to be, such as whatever event's going to be an encounter, a loot, enemy, anomaly, or clue. So that's cool. So you'll have a bunch of those. And as you can see, the first one is going to be in the forest. So locations event table, roll 1d6. And then you've got the swamp right here for this. So you have to make sure that you understand this is this page right here for swamp. It doesn't start from here, obviously. And then we're going to go on and on, going through the different places as we travel through this zone. And then we're going to have our final encounter. And then you're going to have a revelation. Let's not look at that right now. Artifact table is going to be some stronger artifacts. And then tables to create your own excursions to the zone. Now these things you'll have to kind of create them yourself. But there could be some interesting weather that changes some stuff up. What encounter it may be. It could be like a traveling merchant or an old fortune teller, an animal companion. And there could be some objectives like rescue a hostage or assassinate a rival stalker. That's things that they talked about there for when you want to start up your own game. Here's some encounters you can roll up. Here's some anomalies that have special powers. That's pretty cool. And then giving thanks, and here's the character sheet. So overall, of course, I love Stalker, so I like what the game is doing. You can see how it plays. Obviously, it's going to be fairly easy to play, but I have a feeling it's going to be quite deadly. Like I said, I'm going to try. There is some rules that you get that, especially in the PDF, that shows you how to make the game easier, but I don't want to do that. I just want to go straight ahead. So there it is. There's Escape the Zone. If you're interested in seeing me play it, stay tuned here. I'm going to get some stuff into position, and then I'm going to give it a try. Hopefully you can see everything that's going on. I got a character sheet. I may even try to do a little bit of sound effects. I'm not sure. I like using some sound effects when I play solo board games, so I may do it here. And I've got some other stuff too that I might try to throw out on the table. That's one thing that's fun about playing a game like this by yourself. You can break out some of those miscellaneous role-playing game stuff, dice and whatnot, to enhance your game. So here we go. Check out Escape the Zone, though, if you want to pick it up, obviously, if you like what you see there. So here we go, Escape the Zone. My character's name is going to be Lance Uppercut. And hopefully someone will tell me where I got that from, because that's a funny joke to me. And I'm going to be a little bit in the way here, because I can't put it all on the screen all at one shot. I'm going to do my best But let's go ahead and make my character. All right, so we're going to go here. And I've already decided that I'm going to make a soldier. Just to start out, I mean, might as well make a basic soldier. So we're going to have 2 skill points among the 3 available. So I'm going to do, let's see, I know I already get 1 for muscles. So I'm going to go ahead and do, I don't want to have 1, 1, and 1. I think I'm going to go ahead and do 1 for muscles, which I'm not going to write. 1 for, my guy's going to be kind of stupid. So there's a 1 and there's a 2. I'm going to go ahead and just put a plus right there. And hopefully you can see that. And then my brains is going to be 0. He's not very smart. All right. And then my vitality is going to be up here. It's going to be 20. And let's go ahead and do my luck. So I get 2 points of luck. So you can see right there. Here's the rest of the character sheet: artifacts, weapons, armor, clues, ammo, cash, gear. Pretty cool. Pretty easy. Lance uppercut. Not Rock Strongo. That's my other name. So let's go ahead and see my starting items. Kind of doing this a little bit out of the way. So 2d6. Let's see what I get. This is going to be a 6. So I get a map. So that's cool. I'll be moving this around probably a lot. And what does the map do? It says, single use lets you re-roll on the location events table. Very cool. Definitely going to probably come in handy. I like that. I think that's neat. 9. Ammo pouch contains 1d6 ammo. That's going to be even better. Hopefully my table's not jumping around too big. Come on. I get 3 ammo. That's on top of what I'm going to get for my character. So, my specialization, I've got that, the +1 for muscles. I have a rifle. Okay, so rifle. And I apologize for my handwriting. I write like a child sometimes. Most of the time, I should say. So it is 3 plus nerves. So I'm just going to head and do 4 right there. 4 damage. DMG. And then, let's see. It has 1d6 ammo. 2. So I believe I have 5 ammo. That's what I'm going to say. Including that. That's including the 3 there that I got. We'll say that my ammo pouch has the ammo for the rifle. So I've got 5 shots. That's not bad. Especially starting off in this game. I've got a knife. And that is going to do 2 plus muscle. So it's going to do 4 damage. That's actually really good. So that helps. I'm already wrong, as you can see. For those that are following along, this should be a 5. Because what it is it's 3 damage plus your nerves. Oh no, I did it wrong. I did it right. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Yeah, 2-handed ranged weapon is 3 damage plus nerves. My nerves is a 1, so it's going to be 4 damage. I had it right all along. And then I've got MRE. So we're going to do an MRE. And it has 3 uses. And then I'm going to do little blocks that I can just cross out. And then each portion restores 3 VP. That's going to be helpful. I wonder if I could, I guess I could eat those all at one time to heal a whole bunch of them. So there it is. And we're ready to go. I don't have any armor though, which kind of stinks. I wish I did. You can roll up on the table here. You can roll up armor. You can roll up a helmet, which has 1 armor point. So there's that. So here we go. And you're always going to start off with the forest. So I'll be reading this out, and we'll see what happens. You find yourself in a dense forest of pine spruce and cedar trees. I've got some sound going. Not sure if you can hear it, but it says, the ground is covered in thick, sticky sludge. It's eerily quiet, even though I got this junk playing here beside me. The only notable sounds are your breathing and your footsteps. Gusts of freezing wind make your teeth chatter uncontrollably. Test your muscle. On a failure, lose 3 vitality points. Armor doesn't apply. If you get a total success, gain 1 luck. So here we go with our first check. Our first test is going to be muscles. And of course, like you can see here, I've got +2 to muscles. So hopefully I get a good roll. And I got a 9, so I'm good. So that's 9, 10, 11. I did not get a total success. So I'm okay with the cold. Now I'm going to roll on the locations event table. So that's a 1d6. Okay, I rolled a 1. First one, and we see that that's an enemy. A soldier. A rent-a-cop in military getup is patrolling the area. Test your nerves to avoid him. If you fail, he spots you, deals you 3 points of damage. That sucks. Now you must fight. If you roll a total success, gain 1 luck point, and either reroll on this events table or move to location 2. So he's got 8 points of life, and he does 3 damage. Now I probably should have kept some way of keeping track of these guys' life. And what I'll do is I've got a little piece of paper here, and I'll just keep track of it as I go. So here we go. We're going to try to make, I'm going to test my nerves. So this might be bad. So I got a +1 in nerves. All right, I'm doing good. I got 11. So I avoid him. It says if you roll, if you fail, he spots you, deals you 3 points of damage. Now you must fight. If you roll a total success, gain 1 luck, and either reroll on the events table or move to location 2. So I've escaped him, and now I'm going to, you know what? I'd like to have an event here before I move on, because I believe they're probably only going to get stronger. So let's go ahead and roll again. We escaped that guy. We hid amongst some trees or some tall grass or something, and he went on by. So I rolled a 2. The next one, that was a soldier. This is a bandit. Something moved behind a tree. Test your nerves. If you succeed, you outsmart the bandit hiding in the shadows and get to deal him the first blow. Automatically deal your full damage. If you fail, he catches you sneaking on him. Suffer 2 damage, then proceed with a close combat check. If you roll a total success, either deal him double damage or normal damage, and you gain 1 luck point. So here we go. We have to do this nerves again. So I've got +1 to nerves. Let's see if we can do it again. Wow. Okay. All right. Total success. I deal him double damage or normal damage, and you gain 1 luck point. So I'm going to go ahead and just do double damage to him. I'll go ahead and get this guy out of here. So we'll say that it's my knife. I just snuck up on him and stabbed him, and he goes down gurgling, and he's killed. So that's cool. And I don't get a luck point because I didn't do normal damage, but that's fine. But he does have a pistol, which I will take. I'm going to be trying to get as much ranged weapons as I can. Now, when you look in the book, it's going to say whenever you get an item, let's see if I can find the place that each gun that you find gets has a certain amount of ammo on it. All ranged weapons come with 1d6 ammo. You can also loot their corpses of enemies you've killed who were carrying firearms. Looted weapons also contain 1d6 ammo, and add them to your character sheet. So, let's see what we got. We got 5. Now, I'm going to write that differently. So, I've got a pistol, and I'm just going to say 5 ammo right there. Know that it's different from my rifle's ammo, as I stash that in my belt. And let's see what the damage is for a pistol. We're going to go here, and, oh, I'm sorry, it is, where the heck is it? I've already gone way past it. Let's see. All right. I can't find it, because I'm not doing too well here. Well, it's actually, I guess it's going to be in this, right in here. You look for pistol, 2 damage plus nerves. So it's going to be 3 damage. Alright, the pistol does 3 damage. I'm better with the knife, though, in hand-to-hand, so that's not too bad. So, sorry that took a little while, but we're getting through it. So next I'm going to go on to location 2. It says, emerging from the woods, the muddy path leads you to a large swamp. Noxious gas, dead trees, puddles of murky water, and clouds of disgusting flies populate the area. Everything here smells like decomposition and disease. Test your muscles unless you're wearing a gas mask. If you fail, lose 2 VP as you fight to keep the content of your stomach inside. So let's go ahead and do that. I've got +2 because of my muscles. Here we go. And I'm good. So I can hold the contents of my stomach inside me. A thick fog slows your progression and makes it hard to see far ahead. Roll with disadvantage for your ranged attack checks. Alright, unless you have a light source or night vision goggles. I do not. So let's roll on the location events table. And I'm going to look at this map again that I've got. Single use lets you reroll. Okay, so I get to reroll. 1, an enemy, a spider toad. Oof. I don't know. I'm kind of tired of fighting these things. Like, even though I've only fought one thing, I've rolled up 3 enemies. Let's just go ahead and get rid of the map, okay? I'm just going to cross that out. And I'm going to re-roll. If I get the same thing, of course I get another enemy. That sucks. Dweller. Before you have a chance to react, you stumble upon a short humanoid creature draped in a black hooded tunic. The creature lifts its eyes, burning with fury, in your direction, then starts hurling rocks, branches, and other debris in your direction with its telekinetic powers. There's no way around this one. To make matters worse, the Dweller is protected by a force field that deflects all range attacks. So get in there and fight. So I have to fight him in hand-to-hand. And he does 5 damage because he hurls objects via telekinesis. Special Abomination. This creature's existence somewhat feels like a secret in itself. You feel like you should be meted. Gain a clue if you survive this encounter. That's cool. No dice roll is needed. So alright, here we go. So I can't, because of the fog, I can't use ranged weapons. And we can't go around it, of course. So we're just going to have to fight it. So here we go. So I'm going to go first. I am trying to get, hopefully, an 8 or better. I've got muscles +2. And there's a 7, 8, 9. So I hit it. So that's good. It has 12 VP. And what's going to happen is I've got 20. So just so we can go through it, I'm using my knife that does 4 points of damage. So it's going to take 4 points of damage, bringing it down to 8. And then I'm going to take half of its damage, so it does a 5. And if we go back here and look at the combat, I did close combat. It says you suffer half of the enemy's damage rounded up, so it does 5. So I'm going to take 3 points of damage. That's going to bring me back. That's going to bring me down to 17. I'm going to roll a little 20 here, so I'm at 17. Ouch! That sucks. That something went smashing into my face, probably a rock or something. And then we're going to do it again. This could be pretty nasty. There's 7, 8, 9, so we did it again. So he takes another 4 points of damage, so he's down to 4. And I'm going to be down to, I take 3 points of damage, so I'll be down to 14. Alright, and then hopefully I can get it one more time and kill him. And of course, let's see, what is 5, 6, 7, so I do not. So that's a failure. So if we go right here, just to show you where it is, I've rolled a 7. It means I inflict no damage, and the enemy inflicts its full damage to me. So I take 5 points of damage. I'm down to 9 now. My pen is trying to become a syringe. So there's 9 points of damage. So we go again. It's about to be quick. Alright, so I'm down to 4. This is it. One more hit. I've got to get it here, or I'm dead. Alright, there we go. And I died. So more likely a bunch of rocks came smashing into me. And that was unfortunate. But you know what we can do? We can say that I killed him, and I've got 4 hit points, just so we can continue on. Let's continue on to the swamp. He didn't have anything on him, unfortunately, but it's all well and good. Hey, but I do get a clue, so I'm going to mark that down. 1 clue. Good to go. And now we have the mud fields. Mud, mud, and more mud. As if that wasn't depressing enough, a flash flood erupts. You soon find yourself soaked to the bone, and so is all your gear. You must use extreme caution not to slip in the wet mud. This makes it very difficult to notice the presence of nearby anomalies. All tests made against anomalies are made with disadvantage. That's terrible. So let's roll on the d6. 4. Okay, an anomaly. Burner. You've stepped near a tiny electric blue flame, about as tall as a blade of grass. A huge jolt of flame spurts from the ground, trying to engulf and cremate you to the very core. Test your brains or take 6 damage. If you succeed, gain 1 point of swag. If you roll a total success, gain either a clue or 1 luck point. So this is going to be tough. I don't have any brains. I do have my luck. So I probably should have used that before. But it's all well and good. I'll probably definitely use it here. So I'm rolling disadvantage. It gives you, let's see, let's double check luck. Always got to double check this stuff until you get it under your hat there. Luck points. This is how many times you can gain an extra d6 to dice roll. So I guess that's kind of like having an advantage. I don't know if it makes me have 4 dice because, let's see. I definitely enjoy the way this works. I can see you have a lot of fun with it. You roll 3d6 instead of the usual 2d6, but get to keep the 2 lower results. Advantages and disadvantages don't stack. In other words, you can never roll more than 3d6 at any given time. So, very case, I guess I got advantage and disadvantage is what we're going to say. So there's just going to be 2 dice. So I've got 0 for brains, no brains, and I did it. Amazing. Can't believe it. Didn't think it was going to happen. So if you succeed, gain 1 point of swag. So there's 1 point of swag. It doesn't have a space for swag, so I'll just put swag here. And I'll put 1. And I'm definitely getting out of here. Let's continue on. The Old Barn. Now this looks exciting. You have survived enough emissions to recognize the signs. Skies suddenly turning black, deafening thunder, sickly green mist, and escalating earthquakes. That's not good. You start running frantically in search of shelter. Getting stuck outside during an emission is one of the worst ways to die that you remember. It's pretty much what Stalker's nightmares are made of. Luckily, you see an old barn in the distance. Hooray! You sprint like you've never sprinted before, death breathing down your neck. You don't stop until you reach the barn. Its wooden doors are locked behind a rusted chain and a padlock. Test your muscles to kick the door in, or your nerves to pick the lock. If you roll a total success, gain a clue or 1 luck point. Well, for starters, let's do this. I can't. We'll say that after that battle, I ate one of my MREs. That's my ammo. Stop trying to be a syringe. So, that's dumb because that's how much VPs. There we go. I get 3 VP back. I've got 7. There we go. We'll kind of do something like that. All right. So I've got to roll muscles. I got it. So that's a 10, 11, 12, total success. I'm going to get a clue or a luck point. So I already used one of my luck, which I need to mark. And I'm going to get another clue. If you fail, you're caught in the emissions blowout, suffer 10 damage. Good lord. If you somehow manage to survive, continue location 5. I really like the deadliness of this. I mean, if you think about it as a solo game, you don't want to just breeze right through it. I would think that you'd want, much like a roguelike video game that's quite difficult, you want to just keep on trying to do as best you can. Maybe you can even give yourself some starting little things if you play it over and over again and find out that you're not doing well, or you can use those easier rules. So if you succeed, you step into the barn. It's completely plunged into darkness. Disadvantage on all dice rolls unless you have a light source or night vision. Okay, so I'll have disadvantage. So let's roll. I'd love to get some loot. I did. Loot, a scythe. Test your brains to lay eyes on an object plunged into a haystack. So I've got disadvantage. So I'm going to use the lower 2. And of course, that's a terrible roll. I do not find it. That's unfortunate. So I'm in the barn. I'm going to chill there for a little while, and I'm going to eat another MRE. I'm going to get my life back up. So there's 10. And we're going to get out of here. We're going to head to the scrapyard. You enter a somewhat familiar scrapyard. Piles of twisted metal, car carcasses, and various types of junk as far as the eye can see. You feel the gaze of thousands of vermin hiding in the darkness. You keep your eyes peeled for any sign of danger. Scrutinize your surroundings. When movement in the sky catches your attention, that's not good. You might have lost your memories, but you know too damn well what that dark sky crackling with static energy means, and those funnels of wind stretching to the clouds. A rad storm is brewing, and got some bad weather going on. Test your nerves or your brains to find a shelter quickly before you get hit by a high dose of radiation. Okay, so let's do that. Test your nerves. We're going to do my nerves since my brains are crap. I got doo-doo brains. And I got it. There's an 11. I like how you get total successes on stuff like this. Very cool. If I'd failed, I'd taken 6 damage. You wait for the storm to pass before resuming your travel through the piles of rust. Here we go with a events table. Roll. 6. An encounter. Mutilated carcass. The buzzing cloud of flies catches your attention first. Then, the unmistakable smell of rot crawls inside your nostrils and mouth. Lose 1 VP. Armor doesn't apply, so I'm down to 9. Okay, unless you're wearing a gas mask. 3 steps later. Hold on a second. Let's see. Yeah, unless you're wearing a gas mask. 3 steps later, you discover what the carrion eaters are feasting on, the mutilated carcass of a deer. A legion of fat maggots ripples from its chest cavity. The poor beast seems to have burst from the inside. It's very unfortunate. Well, we're trucking here. This is good. Now we're at the top of the hill. As you're stumbling out of the scrapyard, you take a knee for a minute to catch your breath. You have a distinct feeling that you're nearing your destination, without knowing exactly why. A hairless fox with blue veins glowing through its translucent skin is staring at you on the gravel path. As soon as you lock eyes with the strange creature, it whispers to you telepathically, "Follow me." You obey the command like an automaton, unable to restrain yourself. The mutated fox leads you to a small hill covered in alien-looking flora. Color-shifting leaves, slithering vines oozing inebriating nectar, plants that seem to sway on their own, and a fine glistening mist that envelops everything like a fine layer of dew. You can't shake the surreal feeling that all that vegetation breathes in unison with you. I like this. That's a good description right there. We're going to roll on the events table. I've rolled a 1. Of course, that's an enemy every time you roll a 1. Idiot. Razor birds, a flock of small birds, all moving in perfect synchronicity, dives on you with alarming velocity. Your instinct kicks in and tells you to get the hell out of their path. Test your nerves. If you fail, the murderous beast phase through your body as if you were a mirage. As you're about to sigh of relief, the phantom pain tears your flesh apart, like invisible swords piercing you from every side and every angle all at once. Suffer 6 damage. I'd survive it. Armor doesn't apply. If you roll total success, gain 1 luck point. Let's give it a shot. I got +1 in this roll. Oh, that's not good. Ouch. So they come slicing through my body. So I take 6. I'm down to 3. I'm going to eat up my last MRE. There's no real rules about gorging yourself to get your life back. So there I'm at a 6. Man, I'd like to roll something else here. Let's see what the next place is. The bunker is the last place, I believe. Let's go for it. What the heck, right? The bunker. As you climb the hill, the foliage gets thicker, the plants and trees grow taller, and darkness engulfs you. At a certain point, the path seems completely blocked by a dense curtain of twisted vines. The hairless fox jumps through the vegetation wall as if it were a mere mirage or some sort of hologram. You follow your guide and cross the fake barrage as easily as it did. You find yourself standing inside the stainless steel cabin of an industrial elevator. You search for a control panel, but the doors automatically close behind you, and the elevator starts traveling down. After what seems like a small eternity, the elevator stops and the doors open, revealing an underground research facility, dimly lit by flickering neon lights. Test subjects in suspended animation are floating in huge glass tanks filled with a bright green solution. Mutants, unlike any you've ever seen before. One specimen has no nails, no hair, no teeth, and smooth skin where its eyes should be. Another is flayed from head to toe, muscles, nerves, and ligaments exposed. Her naked eyeballs are staring at you in a very unsettling manner. Further, a humanoid creature entirely covered in seaweed has 2 snail-like antennae protruding from where its eyes should be. Some are so foreign in nature that it's hard to tell if they're plants, minerals, animals, monster-sized bacteria, aliens, or physical manifestations of diseases ready to be unleashed on the zone. The eastern wall is occupied entirely by human-animal hybrids, a gorgeous naked woman with a back covered in giant porcupine spines, a little girl covered in golden fur with a monkey tail, a man with charcoal-colored skin, milky eyes with no pupils, and deer antlers. They all seem to be smirking vaguely at you. There are rows and rows of these test subjects, but you feel drawn to a specific one. At the end of this maze of nightmares and wonders, an oversized tank radiates like a tiny sun. Inside is an embryo with a gigantic cranium. I'm going to turn off the music. Twice as big as the rest of his body, he is the only awake specimen. His eyes are wide open, staring at you. In fact, his eyes are the source of the mesmerizing, blinding light, guiding your footsteps towards him. You have never felt this powerless in your whole life. You are the proverbial deer trapped in the headlights. Test your brains. If you lose, fail 3 VP. If you fail, lose 3 VP. Come on. Alright, I'm rolling trash now. I should have rolled with luck, but I'm trying to hold on to it to the very last. The creature speaks to you without a single muscle of his face moving. His words manifest inside your brain. "Ah, Stalker, you've returned. Did you find the clues that you were looking for? I want to know who I was, who I am, what happened to me. Have you heard about the myth of Icarus, Stalker? Yes, but I don't see... No, you don't. Because like Icarus, you've stared at the sun and it blinded you. As the giant-headed embryo transmits its thoughts to you, the light emanates from him seems to multiply. You feel as though your eyes, your face, and the contents of your skull sizzle and melt. Test your brains. If you fail, lose 6 VP. He's about to blaze me up. Here we go. Let's use luck. So 3d6. I guess that's advantage. I mean, it says roll with one more die, so I would assume that that's advantage. Let me just double check. I mean, maybe I'm stupid here. I see the luck thing. Tests, consumable luck. So we're going to go here to the luck section. I just wanted to see if it was back there. Add a 1d6 and divide it by 2. This is how many times you can add an extra d6. So I'm not sure. I mean, you're adding d6, but I would think that that would be advantage. So a little bit of confusion. Maybe it's on my part. I don't know if you're supposed to be adding these all up together or it's just advantage. I'm certain that Martin's going to let me know when he sees this video. So pay attention down in the comments because I'm certain he'll mention something or I will write it there. We're going to say that it's advantage. Let me look at the advantage rules just so I know that that's exactly, if maybe it's got something there. My ability to go through this book is poor at times. I apologize. It doesn't really say. I'm not sure if you're supposed to roll all 3 of those and add them together. We're going to say we're going to say that it's advantage. It says add an extra 1d6 to your total. One luck point equals 1d6. Once you spend a luck point, you deduce it from the character sheet. Well, it doesn't. I think it would say advantage if it was advantage. I'm just going to roll it. I don't know exactly how that works. I guess. Oh well, I guess it makes sense. If you're doing advantage, you're still picking the same 2. In essence, it's the same thing. But if it's not advantage, you're adding. And you're going to go to +1. A little bit of confusion there. Let's just add it up. That'll help me get through this. Yeah, I dominated it, no matter what I rolled. So that's good. So this guy's not destroying my brain. I will say I got these 2 6s. It's not the first time we meet, Stalker, and I have tasked you with bringing clues back to me in exchange for the truth you're seeking. So, present these clues to me, or burn your wings and fall to the ground once more. I only have 2 clues. If you have less than 6 clues to show to the mutant embryo, the intensity of his gaze sets your atoms ablaze and burns the very fabric of your body. You are forever lost to the void. Your adventure is over. Okay, so that's cool. So that lets me know from playing it that you need to continue on through, you need to get some clues in each one of the different locations. You've got to come away with some clues. Because we look through it, and do some math here. What we've got is, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is not really another location within a place. So we really got 6 places and 6 clues. You're going to have to get some clues, either through traveling in these sections here where it says to roll or get a clue, or to go back through some of these places and really make sure that if you're not leaving the forest, unless you get a clue. Here's where you can get a clue. I'm going to go through it and kind of look. There's a clue. So there's 2 clues you can get there. We're mathing this along here. Seeing where all the clues can be. There's a clue. There's a clue. Clue. Keep going through these locations and getting clues. That's how you do it. Well, so there it is. I had a lot of fun with that, actually. I would definitely play that again, try it again. I don't know if I would play the easier mode. I would try to make it as hard as, right at its normal level. I had some weapons that I didn't get to use that go through, but I would definitely play it again, and that didn't take too much time. Even with me kind of fumbling through the book and the rules and stuff. So Martin, let me know about that. If that actually adds to, you just add them all up. But that makes me wonder what's going to happen if you get advantage with luck. Let me just double check it. I'm a stickler for looking and seeing exactly how certain rules work. Or at least knowing, even if I don't do it right. Luck points are a pool of consumable points that you get to trade in before any dice roll to add an extra d6 to your total. So here's the thing. It it doesn't say you can't roll more dice. It says for skills, right? So if I go here, where is it? Skill modifiers may never exceed 3. But I know that's read somewhere where it says you only can roll up to 3 dice. So maybe what you do, or maybe what you can do, since it's your game, you can roll 3d6 and then roll that d6 and add it to whatever it is. So if you've got advantage or you've got disadvantage, you roll this, you say I've got advantage, I got an 8, and then you can roll again and say, well, here's my luck, 9, 10. That's how I would do that. Or if you're doing disadvantage, you're picking these two, 5, and then there you got an 11. So there it is. That's how I think that's how it's supposed to be done. Sucks that I kind of bogged that down, but hopefully that's the way it goes. And there it is. There is Escape the Zone. A lot of fun. Check it out, and I hope you liked this video and you got to see my brain get burned by this huge-headed mutant. So I'm looking for revenge next time I play it, and hoping that I will roll up some different encounters. And you could always play where, if you want, you could keep track of what encounter you had on what location, like for your first roll, and then re-roll it. If you get that again on your second playthrough, change it up, do it differently. And then it's definitely got the stuff in the back for you to help you create your own incursions into the zone. So a lot of cool stuff with this game. I like Stalker, and I'd love to be able to roll on these anomalies. Fruit Punch, Burnt Fuzz, Vortex. So like right here, test brains to notice, fail equals 6 damage. Armor doesn't apply. Success, collect 1 point of swag. Total success equals also gain either a clue or a 1 point of luck. Blood Magnet, it's pretty neat. I like the names of these. Toxic Sludge, Silver Spider Web. That's not good. You can be killed on that. So there it is. Escape the Zone. Hope you've liked this. Thanks a lot.